Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live with the Roxy on this Friday, January 22nd, episode 313 of Quarantine Edition of Live with the Roxy. We're really doing it. We're shitting in the street. We're here together for 313 days in a row. And thank God for all of you guys. You know that I don't fully believe in God, but thank whatever in the universe. Thank the universe for all you guys. I usually say thank gosh. Who the hell's gosh? I have no idea, but thank him or her or they or them for you guys. Thank gosh. Imagine naming your kid Gosh. Maybe that would be what to do. Then everybody's always saying, oh gosh, yes, that's me. Off to a strong start, Roxy Stryer. Tonight is the free agency. What is she going to do? Everybody thinks I'm going to do something different. I'm just kidding. Everybody thinks I'm going to do the same thing. It's so funny. In the Schmodown group, every person's predicting I'm doing the exact same thing. I haven't seen one person predict that I'm not doing what I'm doing. So we'll see if I am doing that. You guys will know tonight. Brittany Barker says all the belts for the stars. That's what I like to hear. Yes, absolutely. I'm excited for free agency. I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited for all things Schmodown in 2021. If you guys have thoughts on who it is you guys think I should be drafting, then make sure you let me know. Gosh, Brolin. That's funny, third turd. We got some things to talk about today. Speaking of Gosh Brolin, aka Josh Brolin, aka star of many nerdy things. We're not talking about him, but we are talking about nerdy things. WandaVision episode 3 finally aired, and I am stoked to be able to talk to you guys about it. I know a lot of you guys haven't watched it yet, so we are saving our conversation on WandaVision for the end of the show. It will be a spoiler-filled review, and that will come at the end. So no spoilers right now, no WandaVision talk right now. If you are in here and you are talking WandaVision, then you will get kicked out if you're giving spoilers because we don't fucking put up with that shit here. Right, guys? Right, y'all? I've been trying to switch over from guys to y'all. Not to much success. It's challenging. Guys is such a part of my vernacular. Maybe just babes. Right, babes. Right, rock stars. No spoilers in the chat till the very end. I'll let you know when you do spoilers. You'll know you can do them because I'll say you can do them, which is not right now, so you cannot do them now. You do not have my permission. And I see my amazing mod, Jake Yacovetta, in here. He's ready to fucking boot you, bitches. The bitches are the people who give spoilers. Keep up, y'all. I will get to the Streamlabs right after this, but some shout outs to my friends Glenn Caesar, Bruce Banner, Manny Gonzalez, John G., Ben Rayner, Robert Turner, King Sportcal, John Bainbridge, Third Turd, Moormouth Haunts, Garth McMurray, Andrew Thomas. Let's see. Hitman Hudson, Brittany Parker, Mohammed Belsin, Jeff Alterman. She can't scroll fast enough. Haskell 420. D-Train. Thank you guys all for being here. Much appreciated. To my peeps, Cinema Garia, Zeno Hour, Kenu Put, Redford Reddington, Jose Maxwell, Danny Ramirez. He's a big fan of y'all. I don't love y'all. It just doesn't sound right on me. I'm from Boston. Who from Boston says y'all? Mark Jason Ali, Rob Fishbeck. Prince It Wasn't Promised. All right. Those are shout outs for now. No, I lied. Ben Jones, Jared Jefferson. Okay. Those are shout outs for now. Thank you guys for being here live with me today. Cheers to the freaking weekend. I'll drink to that. Yeah. All right. So let's chat. Let's chat about what's going on in the Streamlabs, and then we will talk about a couple other things. I want to talk about Chris Brown today. Why do I want to talk about Chris Brown? Because he's trending and I'm confused, and I will break that down. Also, I want to talk about Biden. What has he done so far? What is he planning on doing? What's Fauci's deal? We can discuss all of that. But before we do, in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, let's see what is happening in here. Cinema Garia said, shout out to DC. Oh, no, that was from yesterday. Sorry. Glenn Caesar said, hello, good afternoon, and happy Friday, Roxy. Love you as always. Thanks for hanging out with us. Quarantine episode 313. Peace, love, bunnies, and hugs to you and all the rock stars who show up here and give their support whenever and however they can. Stay awesome, y'all. See, he is y'all. Don't ever forget rock stars and world friends. When it gets tough, we're not alone. Even if we're by ourselves, Rockstars Band, a new world order for the win. I hope that we can all find and feel some joy in each of our days, our weeks, our months, and our years. Likewise, remember, you're kind, you're smart, you're unique, and being so unselfishly loving, unselfishly. Is unselfishly a word? Maybe that's why it trips me up. Unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including internet strangers, makes you worthy. Therefore, your story is important and deserves to be seen and heard. You are appreciated. And again, he's going to say it again, as we're going to say it on the show, until there is justice that is served. Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankinson, Jonathan Mattingly, rest of the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. Hashtag say their names. And Glenn also said, really enjoyed today's OSA show. RJ Skittles, Chunk, Silver, the Elf. You and DJ make a great tag team. Your yank out the vowels from stupid was spot on, just perfectly timed. LOL, it's always fun to hear you say it. Also, props to you on your beep boops. Yeah, I was talking about the Batwoman episode that I watched. I didn't talk about that on the show. I watched Batwoman. It's not that big of a fan of the season premiere. I don't know how you guys felt, but there was a lot of beep boop, which is basically Luke Fox just beep booping on the computer. What? Her plane went where? At what time? Beep boop beep boop boop beep boop beep boop. You know the deal. Also in here is our girl LD. Okay, guys, let's check in on LD. LD says, "Hey, coach." Tone shift here, guys. Yes, I took the kit. Great job, LD. The only bit of sex ed my school did teach was what to do if this happened. I followed all the rules, but it was so invasive, I'm sure. Then having to go over the details with the police, it was very hard for me. I think that I'm done with my brothers. I get that. I'm sure you understand. But on the positive, the tour is starting in Canada and Australia because they are low in COVID and they are opening back up in May. I have 2 weeks to learn 2 new plays. One is a larger part. One is a small. And the fourth, I'm not part of. If the U.S. starts being safe, we may get to tour here. But right now, I get to travel to another country. 2 years ago, I'd never left my state. And now I get to go to Canada. I'm trying to get back into a routine hugs. Pausing there for a second. LD, we love you. We're thinking about you. And I think that what you're doing right now by going on tour is so... I think this word is overused, but not in this situation, brave. I think you're very brave. I think that you are a badass. I think that we're all in such support and admiration of you. That tour sounds incredible. I didn't realize it was out of the country. I hope that you get some new life experience and that being away from here brings you some peace and can be kind of like a sanctuary to you. Throw yourself into what you're doing right now. Crush it. The best way that you can move forward here is by succeeding. And that will be the best revenge. So succeed as much as you can. If you want to be done with your brothers, I don't think a single one of us blames you, even if you want to be done with all of them. Because as far as I'm concerned, at this point in time, they can go fuck themselves. LD also said, on a side note, Eric Nation, ZZZ's father, was at the hospital while I was being treated. He worked there, and I couldn't look him in the eyes. Why are people so cruel? Why can't we have more Glens and less Bens? Hugs, coach. Yeah, I think that I understand that's a throwback to Nation ZZZ's father was not accepting of his when he came out. And people are cruel, and there are reasons why some people are cruel. And I don't know that we know everybody's full story, but what I do know is that for people who are incredibly religious, I don't understand that much about religion, but from what I know, Jesus was very clear on love everyone. And to hate people from being queer doesn't seem very virtuous or Christian to me at all. So thank you, LD, for sharing all those things. We wish you the best of luck. Continue to update us here live at the Roxy, and we'll be with you on your journey. Thank you for sharing. Ben Rayner in the Streamlabs says, "Hey, Roxy, happy free agency day. Did you see the Superman and Lois trailer yesterday? Looks good. I wasn't looking forward to the show, but this trailer turned me. Also didn't seem very CW. Hope that makes sense. Can't wait for the show." Yeah, I talked about this all yesterday. Ben Rayner, you might want to check out that episode, but I thought, in short, the trailer looked awesome. Was the first thing that turned me also, and I also didn't think it looked very CW-y. So we are on the same page about that. Let's see. Corinne D in the house. "Finding my tribe means more to me during COVID than I can possibly express. Thank you for being you and representing Boston." Much love, babe. Thank you for being a rock star, for being in here. Haven't seen your name pop up in a while, so hell yeah for being your tribe. And thanks for joining the show today. You guys are an active bunch today. I love to see it. Thank you guys for being so vocal in the chat. And thank you for joining me on these conversations. We have very challenging conversations on this show. We also have very fun conversations. This is like the whirlwind of shows. We go up, we go down, we go high, we go low, we go everywhere in between. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start by talking about Chris Brown, who is trending on Twitter right now. And he's trending in a positive way. And I am just so incredibly confused by this. Let's talk about it. This is, we've had this conversation in several different ways on the show about separating the art from the artist. But so I'll read you some of the tweets with 5,000 likes. Shanti tweets, one of the most slept on albums by Chris Brown. Your man ain't me. Somebody else, with 6,000 likes, me if Chris Brown do a verses, and it's then a gif of somebody really excited. Somebody else posts with 5,000 likes, since Chris Brown is trending, I thought I'd bring this back up, turn the volume up, and it's one of his songs. Then since Chris Brown is trending, let me bring back one of the greatest R&B songs of the 2010s, and they post one of his songs. It's got 141,000 views on it. Top 3 Chris Brown feature, a lot of posts. Chris Brown actually smoking anybody he go against in a versus battle, bro. Come on now, says DJ First Class. There were just thousands of tweets talking about Chris Brown. Thousands of tweets. Not Brittany, not Ashanti. Shanti, that's just a random person, not a verified, not Ashanti. These are all just random Twitter users that I'm talking about have made him trend because there's so many people that are talking about him right now. I don't know as a society how I think it says something very bad about us as a society that we are down with Chris Brown. I don't understand how we can continue to rep his music and how we can continue to tweet positive things. I understand that some people are better than I am at separating the art from the artist, but he beat the living shit out of somebody. And I understand that person is a celebrity and that person is not somebody that we know personally. But we don't know how many people he's done this to. We only know we saw Rihanna's face. And for anybody who doesn't remember, you can look it up. I don't want to put the image on the screen because it can be very triggering to people. But he beat the living shit out of her. They didn't get in a dispute and things got heated and accidentally one thing. He beat the living fucking shit out of her. And it's not a he said, she said. It's not, I wonder if this happened. We saw her face. It was beat to a pulp. She was bludgeoned. And that's just one person that we saw with our own eyes. And I don't understand. I have stopped listening to him. And I think he is an unbelievably talented artist. But you can't beat the living shit out of somebody and have me see it. I saw it. And then have me be a fan of yours. And it's you're not putting on a character when you're singing. You're not asking me to believe that you are a 14th century king. You are you. And I'm paying to see you or listen to you or watch you as you. That's what it is when you're a musician. There's a lot of musicians that I'm sure I shouldn't be liking because I'm sure that they are really bad people. I don't know that as much because I fucking saw this. And so when people are saying all these positive things about Chris Brown, and it happens all the time, I sit there and I'm like, how can we be okay with this guy? How are we supposed to live in a world in which, this isn't a Michael Jackson situation where now Michael Jackson is dead and some people believe it happened, some people don't believe it happened. I obviously believe I believe his accusers. I've said that many times. But for people who didn't see it or whatever, I get that some people don't believe that took place. That's a different conversation. There's not one person on the planet who doesn't believe that he kicked the living fucking shit out of Rihanna. That he beat her to a pulp. Now, some people might believe that that was the first time. I think that is an egregious belief, but maybe you think that. But nobody doesn't believe that. We watched it. And then we support him. And then he just gets to live this life of fame and glory and gets to continue to... I don't get it. So Crowham in here says, same thing with Woody Allen films, Louis C.K., just can't with them. I feel like those are different things. I don't watch Woody Allen films either because of the rape allegations. With Louis C.K., that's on a different level. But all three of these are completely different situations. But for us to literally have seen Rihanna's fucking battered face and then to be bopping along to his songs, so it's a fucked up world we're living in where that's the case. It's a fucked up world we're living in. That is so... Ugh. I wonder how you guys feel about this. Let me know. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Even those of you who have said you're able to separate the art from the artist. Does that include Chris Brown? Does it not include Chris Brown? Do you think of this situation as so separate then, obviously this isn't a Me Too situation, but where do you guys think that this compares, or where do we draw the line? How do we feel about all of this? So let's see what you guys are talking about. Okay. Ace Money in the Streamlabs says, Chris Brown is trash. I remember being mortified after he beat up Rihanna and how people victim shamed her and asked her what she did to provoke him. No man should ever hit a woman, ever. Fuck his defenders. Yeah, I guess some people just do defend that. Corinne says, you're right, my girl. I haven't been on the channel. I want to represent the people that can't afford to be as active as I used to be. I'm happy to be back. And the fact that you remember me and give me love, thank you. Absolutely. Well, thank you for being here. And I understand that everybody's going through different financial times. And when you guys are able to, when you do financially support me, it means the world to me. And when you can't financially support me, just continuing to show up, that really means so much to me too. So thank you for all of you that are being here. Thank you for all of you that are being here. It's not English. Thank you for all of you that are here. Okay, let's see. Chelsea W said, should we punish someone forever for what they did as a teenager? Chelsea, this is a great question. It comes up all the time when talking about these kind of situations. I would like to not be judged for the things I did as a teenager. I think all of you guys probably feel the same way. The things I did as a teenager, like drank way too much and fucking freaked out at my friends. Or, people who are teenagers, this didn't happen to me, but they get DUIs. They made really fucking wrong decisions. Or people who are teenagers who bully other kids in school by calling them fat. There are things that you do as a teenager that you hope you're not judged for forever because they don't represent who you are. Then there is beating the living shit out of somebody to the point that you could have caused them to die. And if that's inside you, to be abusive to that extent to a woman, I think that's something you can judge somebody for. And until and unless he came out decades later, because keep in mind, him as a teenager is not that long ago. Decades later came out and said, here are the 20 years of therapy I've done. Here's how I know that this was wrong. Here's what I've done to work on this. I went and visited with these people. I did this therapy and I've made it right with Rihanna in this way. And I've done all of these things. until that, I do think we can judge him for what he did. I think beating the living shit out of a woman, I don't think that that's something that, but can we judge him for domestic abuse? I think that that's really, really different. But it is an interesting question. I know people have different opinions on this one. That's why we have the conversation here. DUI leads to deaths. It does happen, Cinema Guria. It does happen. It happens where somebody drinks too much and kills people. And those are fucking horrible things. And it's a horrible, horrible accident. Beating the living, and you can judge those people if you would like. But I know people who have gotten DUIs when they are really young. And if you want to judge them on that forever, that's your prerogative. But it is a mistake where you're not on purpose trying to hurt somebody. Even though now as an adult, we know that you are putting yourself in that position. When you beat the living shit out of somebody, you are trying to hurt them on purpose. Your intention is to hurt them. Your intention is not to get home or to get to a party or to get somewhere quickly. Your intention is to hurt somebody. And that's a different kind of thing to judge, I believe. Interesting how all over the map, you guys seem to be in here. A lot of people believe that he should be judged for this. And a lot of people believe that he can move on. Fascinating to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Garth Harkness McMurray in the streamlabs.com/Roxy Strife says, I'm home from the hospital and I have good internet again. Looking forward to the free agency special tonight. I'm sure you'll draft the Odd Couple and Alex Damon first. I hope you gave some spots for my friends in the draft like Peggy, Amaru, and Christina. Well, that's not until next week, but we will see. It all kind of depends on what happens. But thank you. And I didn't know they were your friends. That's great. Curtis Mason here says, I've been confused on how to feel about Chris Brown. He's an amazing entertainer. What he did is disgraceful. P.S. Thank you for derailing the combo the other day to give me advice. It helped a lot. Of course, Curtis. I'm glad that it helped. And keep us posted. So, yeah. Also, shout out to Glenn Caesar, who says 148 watching, 63 thumbs up. Hell yeah. Let's get those thumbs going. Appreciate you guys. Let's move on from Chris Brown. Let's talk a little politics before we get to WandaVision, and then we will close out with WandaVision. Get in those Streamlabs, those super chats, and anything you guys want said on this show. Questions, comments, concerns, etc. Biden making moves very quickly as president. He is coming into possibly one of the toughest spots that any president has ever been immediately submerged into. And I like a lot of the decisions he's making when it comes to his COVID policies. I read there was like this 200-page document that I didn't read the whole thing, but I was skimming through about his intentions for COVID relief and for vaccinations. And it seems to be his number one priority right now, which is exactly what it needs to be, because it wasn't the previous administration's number one priority, is to get people fucking vaccinated. So I'm hoping that we start to see things with that. Right now in my personal life, I have an appointment for Papo. I can't seem to get Grammy scheduled. I'm working really hard at it. It seems to me like there should be no question that a 93 and 95-year-old should be the first people fucking vaccinated. But, that is just not how this world works. So I'm hoping that that takes effect very quickly. Also, Fauci announced a couple days ago, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I forgot to talk about this. So I did think it was worth talking about, that the U.S. is rejoining the World Health Organization. So they're rejoining the WHO. And this was announced, actually yesterday on Thursday. It says President Biden's chief medical advisor, Dr. Anthony Fauci, by the way, so nice to have somebody who actually respects and appreciates Fauci, announced that the president's plan to reverse the Trump administration's decision to withdraw from the WHO. Fauci also said that the U.S. intends to join the COVAX facility, a multinational effort that claims that aims to deliver COVID-19 vaccines to low-income countries. On his first day in office, this is what Biden did, and that means a lot. It means a lot when we are a country that has been so divided here, but also has been so removed from the rest of the world, because we do things like during a global pandemic, we remove ourselves from the World Health Organization, which is just like fucking ludicrous. So the fact that we are back. Yeah. And John points out also rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement, which is very important. He's talked about climate change very often, and how this is going to be a huge issue moving forward, and how his administration is going to try to handle that, which is very telling of where he stands, and I think very important for us to be doing. Again, I feel like the word importance overused, but it is. If our planet's not here, what the fuck are we fighting for anyway? It is something that we all are going to have to. They say within the next 7 years, if there aren't changes, it's going to be irreversible. We've already done some irreversible damage, so it's nice. It's nice when Biden says things like, "I'm leading with science, not with politics," and I'm behind anybody who leads with science because I believe in science. I can't even believe that's a sentence because it feels like an oxymoron to have to say I believe in science. Science is fact. It's not a belief. So that's bizarro, but it's nice to know that we have somebody in charge. So people who said, I don't know that it's going to make any difference with Biden as president, it's already proving to make a little bit of a difference. And every day, if he can get this vaccination rollout going more smoothly and he can get more vaccinations going on, one of the things that he signed, even though it's against the FDA, the FDA's advisory, is that they're able to give out more vaccinations for people for the first time because they were waiting right now on people to take their second shots before giving people the first shot, before everybody got their second shot, because they didn't want to run out of those for people. Biden's just like, no, we're giving them to people. When they can do it, you're giving it to them, even if you haven't given people their second shot yet. And I think that that's the smarter move, because we have to bank on the fact that there's going to be more vaccinations available, and we have to get as many people vaccinated as quickly as possible. And so in a world where you have to do that, we can't be wasting vaccinations. We can't be throwing out vaccines, which is what is happening at all these facilities. So similar to Stephen Sommers, I like science. I am believing that this is the way that we need to be moving. And I'm excited to see Fauci and Biden pair together on tackling this issue. Just wanted to mention that because I haven't been able to talk about positive politics in a very long time. So shout out to our president. Shout out to the president of the United States for moving forward in hopefully a positive direction. Or as Bruce Banner says, good shit, Biden. Yeah. Or as ZB says, this is the way. Maybe it should be, this is the way, like ZB. You get it? Ha, 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 ha. Okay. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. We are going to move on to talking about Mandalorian. Nope. Just said this is the way. So I'm thinking Mandalorian, also thinking Disney Plus. Free take. We are going to be moving on to talk about WandaVision season 1, episode 3. I told you guys I had seen this a while ago, but now you guys have seen this, so we can talk spoilers. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to get out of here, to say our goodbyes to some people, to give some shout outs, to look at some Streamlabs in case they come in. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. You can start submitting those Streamlabs about WandaVision again. Oh my God, I almost called it Mandalorian again. What the F is wrong with me? In case you are leaving now, I will be back tomorrow, live at the Roxy, obviously. The free agency is tonight. Hopefully I don't have to appear too much on that, because you only have to appear if your offers are rejected. So woof. And then also I will be Sunday for World Girls. So just giving you my weekend. I'll be here with you guys all weekend. Let's see. Streamlabs coming in. Again, I'm just making sure that everybody can get out of here so nobody gets anything spoiled for them. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Okay, that is about the show. So goodbye to everybody. Hopefully you guys are all gone. Oh, Kaiser this weekend. Yeah, I haven't talked to him, Glenn, but he said he would come on tomorrow. So I'll text him today. And if he wants to come on tomorrow, he's welcome to. And then Jake will make me a thumbnail, hopefully, because he's awesome. And that's how that will work. All right, we are officially moving into WandaVision. WandaVision, season 1, episode 3, full spoiler review. Everybody who is in here has seen WandaVision, is ready to talk about WandaVision season 3, and we are officially opening up the spoilers in the chats, in the Streamlabs, in the super chat, in everything. Spoiler-filled WandaVision talk. So WandaVision episode 3 was definitely the best of the first 3 episodes. When I say Wanda's my favorite character, it's for reasons like episode 3, in which we watch her be a force. Like, this woman is strong. She is in a bizarre world right now, but this woman, you can't take your eyes off her. She's such an incredible actress, Elizabeth Olsen, but also just everything she's going through. It's wonderful to watch. I like this being the 70s, the hippie stuff, the longer hair, the color all being there. All of that was so great to see and watch. And I was a huge, huge fan. Everything that took place made me have more questions, but also felt like enough answers, even though there were no answers. I know that sounds bizarre, but there's so much to break down. There's the twin situation, right? So there's the pregnancy going on. I thought that they handled this very well. I think that it gave enough for comic book readers while also leaving some mystery. I think that the main question being, is Wanda causing all of this? Is she doing this to herself? Does she have more power than she believes? Or like when she sends Geraldine or Monica away, is that her? Is she doing all this? Or is there another force going on here that is keeping them there? When we see Vision out by the fence, talking to Agnes and to the other neighbor, that brings about so many questions of, so Vision clearly doesn't have all the knowledge that Wanda does. And up to this point, we believe that Wanda and Vision are on the same page. But now at this point, we know that they're not on the same page. Vision, we don't know, what are the neighbors trying to warn him? Are they trying to warn him of the fact what Monica's trying to do? Is somebody trying to take these babies? Is this about the twins? Is that why they're there until she does give birth? Does it have nothing to do with that? I really loved all of the questions that were arising here. And visually, it was a really fun episode as we were watching the things spin on the wall. And as the pregnancy and the birth is happening, more stuff is going on. Jeff Weisberg, who says for the children, which we saw in the previous episode, for the children. So is this all because of the children? Instead of for the children, as in we're doing this for the children, is it about we need the children? That we're doing this for the children, and then you guys will give us the children. So tons to look at there. Let's see what you guys are talking about in here. Andrew Thomas says, happy Friday, the most beautiful Roxy. WandaVision episode 3 was so good. I think Wanda is partially behind this. A lot of people seem to believe that this is partially Wanda's doing. Bruce Banner says on the pregnancy book Vision is reading at the beginning, does it has Mephisto on it? I don't know what was on the book. I would have to go back and watch. What do you guys think was on the book? I also obviously can't talk about this episode without talking about the entire Quicksilver situation. We knew going into this that there had been rumors that we were going to see Pietro, but the rumors were that Quicksilver, or at least Evan Peters, was going to be in this show, which would be interesting to bring in the non-MCU Quicksilver as opposed to Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver. But apparently there was designs being made up of Evan Peters' Quicksilver for action figure type things. So that would be fascinating. I also just like the mentioning of Pietro, of her brother, and of Ultron, bringing us back into this Marvel universe, because this was clearly the most Marvel-heavy episode that made us remember, yes, this is a mystery, and yes, this is a sitcom, but this is also a Marvel show, and we are connected to the greater universe somehow. You guys are just in your own little world right now, but eventually we're going to have to break through. So kind of cool to see all of that. John says the book just said pregnancy. Okay. So that's what the book said. What else are you guys thinking? Let me go into the Streamlabs and take some Streamlabs from here. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Going in here, Bruce Banner says, sup, Roxy, and thank you for your massive support, Bruce. Really appreciate it. Hearing the words escape multiple times and Herb clearly trying to tell Vision that they were trapped has me convinced that Wanda took over the town and is holding everyone hostage and is fully aware of it. That interaction with Monica was telling. Yeah, but Monica let out things that didn't seem like Wanda knew. And my thing is, Bruce, I don't think what they're going to do is make this all Wanda's fault, because then it would feel like maybe she's a little cray cray. And I don't know that's what they're trying to go for here. I do think that this has to do with the bees. I think that they are trying to, she might be catching on more quickly than Vision, and she might have some control, but I don't think she is fully in control. I think that, when we hear Wanda, who's doing this to you, I don't think the answer is Wanda. I think she has the ability to try to get out, kind of in the same way that in The Wizard of Oz, I guess you could say that she's doing it to herself in some ways, because all she has to do is wake up, but that's not really what's going on. So I don't think that she is the full controller of this universe. Ryan Payne in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar says, before episode 3, I thought Wanda could be suffering from a fugue state where she's retreating into this reality. But now it looks like it could be dissociative identity where she snaps when her reality is threatened. I don't think that's what's going on. I don't think she snapped like Crazy Girl snapped. I think that somebody is keeping her here against her will, and that we're going to have to dive into that. And she's going to have to reach in deep to try to get out. Max Cohen says, I think Wanda is doing it, but I think some outside force is manipulating her. And that's how we get the M-verse. Wanda will break reality accidentally. That's a good call. I could see that, Max. I could definitely see that happening. Let's go back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Get in any of your thoughts now as we are winding down this episode. Glenn Caesar says the twin babies equals shards of Mephisto in the comics, and as a way to drain Wanda of her powers. And in the comics, Billy and Tommy equal Wiccan and Speed. Billy/Wiccan has reality warping and other magic-based powers. Tommy and Speed has powers similar to Quicksilver. Yeah, he has extreme speed. Yeah, and I think that that's exactly what they're doing here. But I wonder who wants their children, because I think that that's what this must be about. Who wants the children? And so even if Wanda is controlling this, somebody's controlling her to control this. That's what I believe is taking place here. So a lot to think about. Was this everybody's favorite episode like it was mine? I don't really know how it could not be. I think this is why a lot of critics said that they thought that they should have dropped the first 3 episodes for fans, because this was clearly the cliffhanger, the stronger one. I have not seen episode 4 at this point. I'm excited to see episode 4. I'm hoping that we get some more answers, and maybe we'll move to the 80s for our sitcom style, which is going to be kind of fun. Bruce Banner says, do you think she made that glitch happen when Vision was telling her he thought something was wrong? If so, maybe not on purpose. It might be tied to her emotions, but she might not be doing it on purpose. She might not even know that she has the ability to do the things that she's doing. Like, even if you go back to the first episode when the boss is choking and she says, Vision, help him. He might not be able to help him until she gives him permission to do that. But I don't know that she even knows that that's the case, if that makes sense. And we know that he doesn't need permission for her to do everything. And why I don't think he's fully running this universe is because think about the show, the magic show. Why would she have him fuck everything up just so that she could fix everything? That wouldn't make sense. So how could she really fully be in control then? I don't think that she is. I think that he still has some control, or people are controlling him. I don't think that she is the one controlling Vision fully. I don't know that Vision could be fully controlled by Wanda. Any other thoughts? Let me know. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar right here in the super chat. We are getting out of here. I hope you guys are all as excited for episode 4 as I am. I think we're going to get more answers about Sword and the Bee people and who is actually in control and in power here and what Wanda knows. It was a really interesting moment with Wanda and Monica Rambeau, because hearing that Monica knew more about Wanda's past, I think that we're going to have to get more of that. Like, what does that mean? And Wanda's obviously waking up to some of these things. So as she realizes what's going on, we're going to realize what's going on. And we are kind of the Wandas in this situation. Yeah, very exciting stuff. Loving that this is the first show. I love that this is the first show that MCU is launching in a big way. I know it wasn't supposed to be their first show, but this show is for me, and I'm going to continue to watch this with an open mind and open heart and a lot of laughter, because honestly, it's a sitcom, so it's funny. Glenn Caesar says, I think Mephisto wanted the children to be born to drain Wanda's power and use the reality warping for himself. Interesting. So this would drain the power, and then he could take advantage of that. Max Cohen. So I think this is dead. You think Vision's dead? This is a construct. That's why he's a little dumb, pulled from Wanda's memories. But I do think that people are people, though I think Agnes is working with bad guy. I think that they want us to think that Agnes is working with the bad guy because of the comic references to her, where she is possibly playing Agatha. But I think that it might be a swerve and that she's actually not working with the bad guy, and that she was trying to legitimately warn Vision or protect, because maybe she was working with the bad guy, but then has reversed, something like that. But all of these are just total theories, because I have only seen as much as you guys have seen at this point. If you guys are watching after the fact, leave in the comments how you felt. I love leaving your comments afterwards. I love hearing what it is you guys have to say. And I appreciate you guys showing up for me here. I'll be back tomorrow live at the Roxy, 1 p.m. And I'll be back every week talking about WandaVision and whatever other shows they throw at us. We are going to be here for a little bit. So today is episode 313. I don't know how long we're going for, but I know that we're here. We're here for now. All right, guys, put down your toilet seats. Make your friends feel happier with any kind of phone calls, text messages, anything you can do. People need people to be reaching out during this time. Send prayers for LD. She really needs us right now. And for any of the other rock stars who need that extra support, we got you guys. We love you guys. Make your beds. It's very important. Changed my life. And I love you guys. And I will see you for free agency tonight. And then tomorrow here live at the Roxy with hopefully Kaiser. I'll keep you posted.